Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to day 2 of the 10-day wire gift making challenge. Today we're making some beautiful snowflake napkin holders. So what you're going to need for this project is 18 gauge wire, your tools, a ruler, a round form, the size that you want your napkin holder. I'm just using a medium-sized pill bottle, and a variety of beads that are going to fit on the 18 gauge wire. So for the first design, I've cut 3 pieces of wire. They're each 18 inches long. Now you want to hold them together and put them on your ring form and just bring it around so it's in the center. So you want to have equal amounts on either side of the pill bottle. So just kind of wiggle it around a bit so it's centered in the middle. And then what you want to do is hold this so all the wires are flat. And then just take this one sticking out that way, that one sticking out that way, and you want to just twist them together. So hold it and then just give it a twist, and you want to give it a full twist around. So 1, 2, to make sure that they're like really secure in there. So once they're secure, then what you want to do is you can remove it from the peel thing, and then you want to spread them. So we're just going to spread these around. So take this, just spread them around like that so they're equal distance apart. Now if they're wiggling around too much, you just turn that around a little bit more so it's really secure in place. So now you have them all sticking out like that, and what you want to do now is form your snowflake. Now if you do find they're twisting around and you want to like secure it a little more, just take whichever one is your longest one and wind it around again. So we can just wind it around here, and then we'll just figure out if it's strong enough, and you could just keep doing that if you need to make sure it's secure, because you really want these to all like hold their place. So now what you're going to do is you can just remove this for now. You can use your ruler if you want to measure. That's not a problem at all. Otherwise you can kind of freeform it. So say we're going to take this one here. I was thinking you might be able to put it on a jig. In fact, if you put it like upside down on a jig, you can set up a jig with different like nails in it or points on your jig and follow the pattern, but otherwise you can just do it by eye. So if you want, just measure these parts in here to see, like that's about 1/2 inch. Bring it over here, and we can just kind of work our way up a little bit. It's not like super important how it looks. And then when you get to the end, it would be nice to do kind of a triangle shape. So just take this and bring it up here. It's probably easier to bend it to the front so it won't get in the way. And then we're just going to make a kind of spiral type triangle. This one's going to be more geometrical than the other one. But you can do any kind of pattern you want. You could do it more loopy. You can do any kind of snowflake that you like. The idea is that there's 6 pieces of wire sticking out, and you want to do the same pattern on each one. So there's that one. And then if you did have a jig, you can just follow it for the next one. And if you didn't have a jig, just do it by eye and try to keep more or less the same measurements. So I'll put together a little template if you want to trace the shape. It's probably going to be easier to do if you have a shape to trace, or if you have your own shape, that's fine too. So we're just going to bring this around, make these little shapes, and it's going to be like a funky, almost kind of abstract type snowflake. So we'll just keep going with it, and then you want to do all 6 sides the same way. Once you've done all the sides, you can just kind of like flatten them in a little bit. You can, if you find it's too like spread out, you can like push these in a little bit too. You can do all kinds of adjusting to make it to your liking, and it doesn't matter if these stick out a lot. They could look quite pretty on the napkin, and yeah, this is one option. You can do any kind of patterns you like for this. You could just use your imagination. I guess the key is you want it to be somewhat symmetrical. So to have like this in a nice shape, and to guide those lines, you want this to sort of be a straight line, straight line, straight line like that. So this is like the first idea for a napkin holder. So for this one, I cut 3 pieces of the 18 gauge wire. They're about 10 inches. I'm just going to hold them together and bend them at about 3 inches here. It just depends on how big you want your snowflake to be. So I'm just going to bend them here at a right angle. And then same thing, we're going to take our pill bottle and we're just going to hold this and bring it all the way around here. And we're just going to bring it all the way around. And then what you want to do is you want to bend it up where these connect. So take your pliers, your flat pliers, bring this here and just bend that up at a right angle. So these are going to be like together here. And then what you want to do is wrap those together. So hold them in place nice and snugly. If you want them like closer together, if they're not quite close enough, just like bend this a little bit more down so they line up. And then you're going to get another wire and just wind it around the bottom. So just take this and then pull it tightly around so these ones are like snug against each other. So just bring that around like that, and then you can clip your ends. So just clip one side and then bring it over here and clip that side here. And if you like, you can just pinch it in a little bit more. So now what you want to do is spread your wires. We don't need the ruler anymore. So just take your wires individually and spread them around. So just take one, bend it that way, and that way, and then this one over here, that way, and that way. So already you have what looks like a really cool snowflake. Now these are probably too long, but you can trim them, and then what you can do is you can remove it from the pot if you want, or just keep it on there, it's fine. So we're going to get our beads and just take, you know, you could pre-decide a pattern if you want. I like to alternate the pearl ones with the clear ones. So we'll put a pearl and then a little clear faceted beads. These are just plastic, but you can use glass if you like. That one, and then this, I think it's called a tri bead, that one. I use these ones a lot for kids crafts. I used to do a lot of kids craft workshops that were super fun. So that one, and then we're going to put one more long one. So my pattern's pretty symmetrical. Whatever you think looks good is fine. And then I could keep going, but I'm going to make it smaller. And so what you want to do is cut this to about 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and take your round pliers and just hold it in place, bend this around, bend that back and around. So now you have your first one, and then you can keep going with your other ones. Turns out it's a lot easier just to remove it from the pill bottle to put your beads on. So we'll just do our last one here. I do have another tutorial on how to make the beaded snowflakes as decorations, ornaments. You can make them really tiny for earrings as well, or a pendant. They're super cute. So there's our last one, and we'll just clip the end to 1/2 inch. And then I also prefer the look when the loop is perpendicular to the piece, so it doesn't show as much. So I'm just going to bend it so it's a little more discreet, and then you can sort of adjust the size if you want to put it back on the pill bottle at that time. To go ahead, you want this line to be straight, that line to be straight, and that line to be straight. And there you have your beautiful snowflake napkin holder. And if you want to, you can also like spread these out a little bit when you put it on your napkin. So if you want to do this one with a jig, you could do the same thing. You take your 18-inch pieces of wire and just kind of center it on here, or you could do it the same way we did the beaded one. Anyway, either way that you want to do it is fine. Just bring it in and twist it around. So 1, 2, and probably a third time would be good, just to be sure, to make sure it's really twisted together well. And then you can spread these pieces. And then what we're going to do is get our jig to make the shape. So we'll remove it from the pill bottle, and then we're just going to straighten these up, and we'll use the jig to make the shapes. I have a template set up on the Artistic Wire Deluxe Jig Kit. If you don't have this jig, no problem. I have the template here that you can just trace or go by. And these templates are free during the challenge, and after the challenge they'll be available for sale in my Etsy shop. What we're going to do is we have the setup here, and we're going to take this and then just place it so it's placed, just this pin is going to hold it in place, so you always bend it at the same place. So just make sure it's like just snug against there. And then you're going to take this wire and go around the first one, and just around here, and always go a little bit beyond just to tighten up the circle. And then around this one, same thing, a little bit beyond around this one, okay, a little bit beyond here. And then we're going to just like pull this one back. It's okay, you're going to be able to bend it back after. And then around here, around that one, and then around that one. Okay, this is almost makes like a little infinity sign. And then you're just going to remove it from there, put it to the side, and see you have that sort of configuration there. You can flip it over, and we're going to bring it over here. Okay, bring this one on top because you want this one to be on top. And then what you need to do is secure this end here. Okay, so we're just going to bring this here, and then to secure it, you're going to get your flat pliers, and just whatever position is easiest for you, flip it over, hold this like near the end, like I would say like 1/8 of an inch near from the end, and then take this wire and twist it around. And this is just going to hold it in place and finish it. Bring it to the back. You can do a full turn, and then we're going to clip it here. That makes one side of the snowflake, so we're just going to do all 6 in the same way. So now we've done all the sides, and you just, if you have to do any like adjusting at the end just to finish them off. And they're kind of fun. They're not like super flat. They're a little bit kind of more three-dimensional because the 18 gauge wire is quite stiff, and they kind of hold their shape nicely. So this one's a really cool option to do with or without the jig. So here are the 3 different napkin holders. You have the one more geometrical one, and then the beaded one, and then the one made with the jig. So you can check out all the details for the challenge in the description below. If the challenge is already over, no problem. You can still check out the creations in the Facebook event page or on Discord. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share pictures of your wire art creations, be sure to join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out our work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I'll put the link below. And also I have a mailing list, so if you'd like to join the mailing list, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching the video. Thanks to everybody who's participating in the challenge, and we'll see you the next time.